Okay, Ferney Muñoz, wireless LAN wireless LAN I can do it. Don't worry. Actually, I need you here. I need you here, as a matter of fact. Yes, yesterday he mentioned, yes, I started coming to the conferences and joined the community. And yes, I'm sharing knowledge now. And at the beginning, it was hard. I worked for a school district. I have some fellow school district guys here. And at the beginning, when I said that I was going to quit my comfy school district job and start traveling and go away and be away from my family and my kids to follow one man that has a lot of followers, some guys are like, that's like following Jesus. So in a way, it's kind of, in a way, I've been following the steps of Mr. Parsons for quite some time now. You can have a seat now. Now, I hope I didn't stress you out as much as you stressed me out. Okay. So yes, and in this new way of life, which is what we do in Wi-Fi, a lot of us have to travel quite a bit. And we travel a lot for our jobs. And yes, I kind of thought I was going to enjoy traveling a lot. I was coming once from Madrid on a standby flight because they're cheap, and a friend gave me passes, but I couldn't fly from Madrid. I ended up going to Paris, and in Paris, right at the airport, in the Charles de Gaulle airport, there is a hotel. I get there like at 11 at night. So like, I'm going to stay there. I go there, and they say, yes, sir, we have rooms available. They are 400 euros a night. And I say, I think I'm going to stay outside. And I did. And my plan was to sleep in those benches, but those benches are not designed to sleep in. So I had my gear, and I had my Ekahau, and I said, maybe I'm going to survey the airport. And I did. The first time I had a Macintosh computer running VirtualBox. And I realized days later that I only collected the first 15 seconds. My cables came loose, something happened, it didn't work. Next time around that I was there, I did the survey. But what's the first thing you need for a survey? You need a floor plan. It will be awkward to go at 11 at night to the front desk, like say, hey, can I get copies of your floor plans, please? But in public places, we always have the you are here maps, and that's exactly what I did. The next thing, once you have a map in Ekahau, you need to scale. You need to give it dimensions. And a device like this at an airport at night is not a distance laser device. So I'll probably be in shot. But I did have a 7-foot patch cable. I measured 7, 14, 21, and got a good long distance. And here's my survey kit. I walked quite a bit. And yes, that's me if you don't believe me. But let's just swap here to Ekahau for a little bit. We are looking at some of the data that I collected at the Charles de Gaulle airport. This data has special value because as I start analyzing, we start looking at whoa, what happened here? Okay, hang on. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, here we go. This is better. Okay, so that's the Terminal 2E, Charles de Gaulle Airport. And yes, we start looking at all of the SSIDs and all of the channels, showing us that they don't have a policy there for airport Wi-Fi. And everybody can bring stuff to the airport. Hertz can bring their own access points, China, Eastern China, Southern. And looking at the number of channels and APs, we can see almost 200 access points in that just terminal that I was. Looking at this one access point that I have on the screen, that access point covers about close to 300 meters at a signal of neg 67 or better. Neg 85 or stronger, so for our CCI we have close to 600 meters. About 600 yards for those of you who are trying to convert from meters to feet and yards. It's about 600 football fields long. We can see an access point. To be fair, let me just show you some of the physical layout of this area. Let me just go back here. So if I show you that picture, we can start now analyzing that at this point, you don't have a Wi-Fi problem. we have an RF problem. And each one of those pods is going to have 5, 6, 7 access points on top of them. Those pods are about 100 feet by 100 feet or 30 meter by 30 meter. And then the check-in area for Delta, for British Airways, and everybody, they have their own set of access points on top of their pods. The pharmacy, everybody's got it. We had like 200 access points that can't see each other. That place is a nightmare. And yes, in reality, in there, we are designing Wi-Fi in a hallway, in a big tunnel. And I love showing this to the Cisco guys, because they're like, is that a bad AP? And they're like, well, no. It's like, okay, it's, improperly mounted. But I love showing this more to the Aruba guys, because as soon as I show them that picture, they're like, oh, that's your problem right there. You got a Cisco AP. Like, you're telling me that if I were to put an Aruba access point, the best one you've got in that same place, same location, you're going to fix all the problems they have with Wi-Fi? No. At that point, we don't have a Wi-Fi problem. We have RF problems. So I found me an airport with an Aruba implementation. And I found me the Gatwick Airport in London with very similar problems. Channel overlap to the roof. We have, not only that, APs advertising 6, 8 SSIDs, and very similar problems. And the thing is, we are always eager and ready to point fingers at the other guys. And yes, when I showed that here in the US, they say, oh, those European guys, always the French guys don't know how to do Wi-Fi. And I did airports here. I've done the Logan International in Boston, and the Tacoma in Seattle, Salt Lake City, my home base. And so far, the best airport I found in the US is the Denver airport. Very good Wi-Fi, and they have a good set of issues as well. But we are always ready to point at diminishing the work that others have done. We're always ready to say, they don't know what they're doing. And one of the things we have to keep in mind, let me just go back here to my presentation, is that we are like a family. We're a small world. And in some of these conversations, some people know somebody that either bid on that project or participated on that project or did the installation or used to work for that company when they were mountaining. And as a family, we are also a big community. And I think part of what we have to do as a community and as a family is have some compassion, for the vendors. I know, Matthew, you were talking, yes, Wi-Fi is putting food in our plates and money in our bank accounts, and we have to be competitive. When you are there on an RFP process, sometimes like a dogfight. But we have to have compassion in the industry, not pointing out what others did wrong, but we don't know the circumstances, why they mounted the APs that way. In most installations, they're telling us how to mount the APs. The architects are telling us how to mount the APs. The interior designers are telling us where to mount the APs and how to mount it to keep the feng shui of the construction. Like, you're telling us how to do Wi-Fi so that it looks pretty? So sometimes we have to have compassion with ourselves. We look back at the mistakes we've made in this learning process, and we have to kind of, take it easy on us. So that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. We do have some of these trays. A lot of things are sold out in the store. They're going quick. We do have a lot of these trays available and many other things. So come by on breaks. When you are here, you're supposed to be on presentations. We close the store. So please obey the times. And these ones come very handy. The trays for the newcomers, several were asking me about the survey trays. They're very, very practical. And yes, when you're surveying, you have to stop sometimes, and this will help you keep your computer safe and clean. And if you have to stop for a snack or to have lunch, that is helpful, especially for my beloved friends in Europe that like to eat French fries with mayonnaise. Explaining mayonnaise on a computer keyboard can be hard. So thank you very much.